We are going into an area where you're a rock star and you're going to teach people what is the right and wrong way to do LinkedIn, maybe. I don't know. What do you want to talk about LinkedIn today?
Well, when I'm on LinkedIn, I don't talk about business. Certainly not at first, because I have, as you know, I've talked about this before, but I want to reiterate this. There are three parts to getting out there. First, you have an dialogue, eye contact, just just basic dialogue. And if somebody doesn't have their photo on their profile, guys, get a photo. So then you have this eye contact or discussing things that you're doing. Then you just just things you have in common. Then the next is the dyad, the two of you, the dialogue. And I spell dialogue not the way most people spell dialogue, Dialog. No, I spell it Dya for dyad. Because the first thing is the eyes. The second thing is to have a conversation about anything in the world. But the third thing is what people misconstrue and make that into the first thing, the monologue, who you are, what you can do, and blah, 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 blah. And if you are at that point, because you've already softened the listener to hear what you have to say, then you present yourself in a way that shows them with them what's in it for me. Not, hey, I could do this and I could do that and I can do all these things. Nobody's interested. But you touch that person with, oh, you have a financial consulting firm. Well, this is what I have done for ba 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 ba. Do you understand? The differentiation is not this is what I can do. Instead, it's this is what I can do for you because I already care about who you are and where you're coming from. But most people, and this happens to me every single day, I get another connection. I get lots of connections each day. And I have, I don't know how many people you were
50 some thousand
doing?
followers.
50 something. Yeah, 50. Yeah, I have a large number of people. And I don't post things about my business and what I can do for anybody. I am talking about the moon and the stars and how this was invented and how that was invented. And people say, I always look forward to seeing what you're posting. And they're always so variegated with so many different topics. And that's because, you know what? I need that for myself too, to educate myself and to get off my own world and just come into another environment and learn about other things. So I find things about Hollywood actors. And I mean, I just find things all over the internet. I don't write anything in particular. It's just grabbing from other sources.
Yep.
And when I do have those connections that have turned people on, they want to connect with me. So I say, okay, we can do blah, blah, blah. The next thing I get from so many people, and guys, this is your mistake. The next thing after connection, I say, they say, I have this special product and I could do this and I could do this. And why don't you come on board? And why don't you look at this? And why don't you look at my video? And why don't you? It's nothing about anything that we have in common. It's only about them doing their monologue. And sometimes when I connect with people, people say to me, thank you so much for not pitching me. Why? Because everybody's out there pitching them with their own monologue. And if you want to sink in business, give them a monologue that will turn them off. Instead, start with dialogue, then a dialogue, and then finally, when you have a relationship going, then you talk about what you do.
And it's interesting the development of LinkedIn, networking, everything virtual in the last 15 years is people want to cut to the chase. They must not be successful on dating apps. The
Well,
whole
that's
thing is
true.
because the dating app, you get someone who swipes right, then you tell them you want to sleep with me. That's no, that's not your next step.
These people
Next
have
step is to have a
already,
conversation and then see if it's a match or not a match.
right,
Don't go through this whole
are so right.
process and they want to rush through it. Now, I think about the rushing part, but also think about the other thing that you got to give them, give, and then pitch them. But that's not in the first relationship. That's where you jump. That's why you create your own podcast, where you invite them on your podcast. And once you're done with the podcast, then they could say, hey, this is an interesting person. I'll have a call with them. But you're never ever pitching your stuff until you're asked to pitch it. When you
Neil,
go to a
with,
networking, go ahead.
with my 50,000 and some odd followers, I still get, oh, hi, Dr. Gilda. This is what I have. I sell this. I sell that. I sell this. Have you even looked at my profile? Oh, here's the best one. I have written 19 books. It's in the profile. Some of these publishers will say, have you ever tried writing a book? Yeah, I do
So
that.
that's because they go
And they
by the
haven't read.
old-fashioned sales numbers game. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game if you have a proven sales method. If after you reach out to somebody, you close 30%, 20%, great. But if you still see that you're not at 20 or 30% closed from beginning relationship to end, you're not on the right track.
I don't think it's happening because how many people have said to me, and this is where I get all my information, man on the street. They come back to me and say, thank you so much for not pitching me anything.
But they're going to say that, and a lot of them, it depends on who they are. Just trust me, LinkedIn, you have to engage in business, but you engage in business when you're asked to engage in business. And the mistake is people who engage in business before being asked, it doesn't work out. And always be direct of why you're building the relationship. If you go in and tell them I'm going to do this and then you flip them to another thing, they're going to think it's a bait and switch. Bring them on the show. I listen
Right,
to them. I
right.
tell who I am. Hey, would you like to jump on a call? I can help you with your brand. They say no. I'll say, okay, well, good luck to you, blah, blah, blah. You got an opportunity to come on my show and I share what I do. And most time people say, I want to jump on another call with you, Neil, because I have something that can sell. And this is the other part, Dr. Gilda. Most people have nothing that's sellable. Only 10% of businesses make profit. Okay. 10% of all businesses profit. And out of those 10%, only a few of them are making real money. So if you're looking at those numbers and you look at all those people, most people are struggling because businesses, it's a very hard entry. And then after that, it's a hard to stay in business.
But you don't start with, this is what I can do for you. It's like saying, let's go to bed before they even talk
Well,
about
we
condoms.
should take not their names and do a podcast for LinkedIn people and read their messages and say who they are and was that the right way
I
to
would not
approach
do
Dr.
that.
Without their name, just the company,
Without
and
their, yeah, I
what
would
they
not
do.
out anybody. Yeah, I would not do that.
Out people that uh,
But no, it's identical to the dating game. Come
oh
on,
totally.
let's go to sleep.
It's a numbers
Wait,
game.
let's talk about birth control first. No, no, no. You can't do that. You just don't talk about these things
Well,
like
guys
that.
in Pittsburgh, they would go and take a picture of themselves with their fish. I took myself a picture. I showed a picture of me and Mark Cuban. I showed a nice selfie of myself smiling. They take a picture of their fish. There's the difference
With a fish,
with the fish.
I guess I don't get that.
You don't get Pittsburgh then. But there
I
you go.
don't get Pittsburgh. You're right. I don't get Pittsburgh.
That was not a good selfie of that, but that's the thing. All right. drgilda.com. Appreciate it, Gilda. We'll talk tomorrow. All right. That was a special simulcast of the Neil Haley Show and the GildaGram podcast.